I got a new shipment today. I got this nice chainer up outfit, blue. It's very nice. I already have one, so now I have two in blue. And they say blue is supposed to be rare. And I got this book. I have about 5 of these and I love them because they're just great. I got a Fabulous hat. I still have yet to get the coat. But most of all, I got the Beauty Parlor finally. I put off getting this. I thought I didn't really want it, but I just decided I do. So I got a nice one. It seems to have everything. I got the chair and the drying lamp. Dryer. I guess you just call it the dryer. And the sink. Actually, I think that little bottle is supposed to be by the chair. And I got the stool. So everything that should come with it. In the end, I am missing 2 bottles, I think. So we'll try it out. She definitely doesn't have as long of legs as they show in the picture, so they kind of faked the picture. They got her legs going all the way down to that bar, which is impossible. And yeah, so I got this dollhouse, and I think I'm going to turn it into a Dawn dollhouse. Usually I use these particular ones for Barbie, but I think Dawn needs a bigger house than the 1/12 scales. I think this is going to fit her perfectly, and I'm going to put a salon in. So I chose this room on the bottom floor. I'm going to keep the floor, so I'm going to cover it so that it doesn't get paint on it. These dollhouses, I painted them before. I make them over for Barbie. But what I'm doing different this time is using a cabinet paint, bare cabinet paint, that you can paint over really any kind of cabinet. And it takes 2 coats on a cabinet. It's probably going to take about 5 coats on here. One thing I found is that it's really hard for paint to stick. So without having to do a ton of sanding, which I hate to do because I don't like the dust all over, I'm just going to paint a thin coat of this cabinet paint so that the rest of the coats have something to stick to. And it should work. So I'm going to paint them all a certain way. Now, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go to the room next to it. And I think I'm going to just paint the areas around the brick and keep the brick. And I'm going to keep the rainbow because back in the 70s, they did do kind of a lot of those rainbow things. Maybe not in pink. They usually use oranges and browns and reds. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that and paint around it. And I'm going to keep the fireplace and just do a 3D mantle. I'll just 3D it a little. Probably I'll do a hearth. Now when I do the second coat of paint, I'm going to do the opposite direction so I can kind of fill in the grooves that went sideways. And I'm hoping once I get enough paint on here, it'll be smooth. I know I should be rolling this, but the problem with this shiny material is the rollers just kind of end up making it look a little watery, like bubbling up sort of. So I'm going to go with the brush, and I think I can get it fairly smooth. Now, this is the second floor, and I've decided to keep that orange tile you see in the background, and I'm going to paint the rest of the walls orange. But on the bottom half, I'm going to do some 70s looking wall stuff, you know, that they used to put on the walls. Gosh, I can't remember what it was called. So I'm going to take this sample stuff that I get free from Home Depot and cut them in strips to make paneling. That's it. I want to make them look more like paneling. So I'm just going to hot glue these on. They're kind of spongy sort of feeling. They're soft. They're real easy to cut with scissors. You don't even have to have a straight edge. I mean, a straight edge a knife would make it straighter, but in the end, you'll see you can't even really tell. So I'm just going to put them on one by one next to each other. You can vary the size too to make it look more like paneling. And we're going to do that all the way around the kitchen. Now in the end, I'm going to put a chair rail across there. So it doesn't matter if they're all exactly even because that's going to be covered with the chair rail. So I cut a piece of foam core 1/2 inch and I'm going to cover it with a wood grain sort of wallpaper or cabinet paper that I get at Walmart. It's peel and stick. It's real easy. Fold it over. And I always cut my ends so that I can cover the ends. So I angle the cut. And then when you put it up, you know, you don't have to worry about bulking up in the corners. It just kind of covers. And hopefully this looks good. It's not the same color wood. And I hate it. It doesn't look good. I don't like it. It's too different. So I put a strip of that paneling stuff over top of it. And now I'm just going to hot glue it on. The only bad thing is that the very top, when you look down on it, doesn't look as good. So I may cut a very small 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch when you're going that way strip and put it over the top as well. So I'm going to do that all the way around the kitchen. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the floor, and I want to match. So there's already marble looking on the round thing there, and I want to keep that, but I got this from Temu and it's really shiny, so it'll be great for countertops to look like granite, but it doesn't match. So this also, the marbling through it is too big for the scale that Dawn is and the scale that's on this floor here, but I think this is a better match. I'm going to go ahead and try it. Okay, I had to move the camera. I could not do it with the camera in my way. This was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Man, was that hard. Getting it under there, and it's sticky. And I couldn't move that thing. I tried to move it. I couldn't move it. Now I'm going to paint the walls the same color orange as those orange tiles. Because 70s orange was such a big color. So that's still too dark. I put a ton more white in, really, to get it the color. But I think I matched it really well. It is pretty much the same. So I'm going to do all the walls in this color, and I'm going to do probably 3 coats, I think is all it's going to take, because this is covering pretty well. So my room is dry, and I put a peg on the wall so I could hang a Dawn hanger, so when she comes to work she can hang her coat. And then I took the little apron that I had, and I hot glued one of my Dawn stands down so she has a place to keep her apron for cutting hair. And then I painted a little wooden table I had for like a waiting room. And I don't know if that chair is a good scale for Dawn, but that's my little waiting room. And I thought I'd put some little accessories. So I have this little miniature newspaper that one of the people I ordered Dawn dolls from sent me, like as a little gift. So they gave me a few newspapers, so I'm going to put those out there. They're kind of old for the times, I mean the Titanic. But anyway, I think it's kind of neat, so putting those out there. I have these little magazines that my parents got me for my Dawn dolls when I was a kid. And they are so appropriate. They are the perfect size for Dawn. And I put those on the tables too. I think I'm going to put the dryer in the corner. And I think the chair will just fit here and still let the wall spin around. So I can change it. You know, it doesn't rub against it. So that'll be a good place. And I'm going to put a customer in. And I wanted to kind of get that chair to lay back, but it's going to just sit up. And I made some art of my own. I took pictures of my dolls with a pink background to kind of go with this whole pink and purple theme here. I'm going to use putty. So I mounted the photos after I printed them on foam core. And now I'm going to mount them with putty because I might want to switch them out or change them. So I don't like gluing things to these walls because it's so hard to get paper things off. So I just put it in Photoshop and put Dawn's hair salon on there. And of course I've got to have a photo of long locks. So I'm putting this one up, and this is one of my favorite looks for her to look sideways, so she's looking more towards you. And so I've got all my art up. I put it all the way around. I think it really makes it look like a salon. So now I'm putting the sink in, and still gonna need some more detail. So now I'm putting in some little things on the sink, some on the stand by her hair or by the customer. So I have this little smaller hair dryer, smaller than my Barbie hair dryers. I got these little cups that my dad sends me, and I'm putting her comb and brush in there. I have a set of Dawn combs, brushes. I've got a few, so I'm gonna really stack them up. In a salon, you should have quite a few. So I have this brush. I'm pretty sure it was Dawn's. I think I'll add another cup to this because I've still got more. I've got a lot of Dawn brushes. I could spread them around on her dressers, but I feel like a salon should have a lot of products and tools. And eventually I'll make a curling iron, a few other things just to, and I'll probably put some hooks on the wall too to hang them, put cords on them and hang them by their cords. Got a little purse for her. We have some other little small bottles. I think they match the size of the other bottles well. Just put a few more things around to make it look more like a lived-in store here. And then I think I'm gonna put my, well, I've got a little purse. Oh, I forgot about the money. Yeah, I can put her tips, you know, like in a little jar. These might be a little too big for Dawn, but they're not as big as the Barbie ones, so got this cute little purse. And I'm gonna put the nicest Dawn doll I have out of Dawn's. She is never played with. I got her, she even had, that's a brand new outfit, new shoes, new stand. None of it has been touched, you can tell. She has pure white panties and the instructions that came with her. So here's the salon. And I think it came out really cute. I love the art. It's so cool that it just looks so professional. It's all my dolls. I think the floor is just perfect too for the color of the furniture. It's just the cutest little room. And I love her reflection in the mirror in this picture. I think that's one of my favorite pictures, the one of Long Locks on the left. That came out really nice. And it's just a cute little room. And you can turn the wall a little and make it that way or angle it. Either way, I love it.